Hi everyone, welcome to art class. This is your very first visit to the art room, and today I'm going to go over just a few things. I'm not going to go over everything today because there's a lot to go over, but just a few important things that you need to know right away. The first thing I want to know is, how much do you love making stuff? We're going to be doing a lot of drawing and painting and using markers, squishing clay in our hands, cutting and gluing and building. Most importantly, we're going to be thinking in art class, and you need to be able to think before you actually get to create. So I certainly hope you like to do a bunch of those things, because that is what art is about. When you are ready to come to art class, your teacher is going to walk you down to the art room, and I am hoping to see a nice quiet line outside the art room door. Now you can't come in until I come out of the art room to greet you. And I want to see all your smiling faces ready to come in and get started. I don't have a picture for this, but when you walk into the art room, we are going to meet on the rug. So find a spot on the rug, sitting crisscross, and then putting your hands in your lap. I'm going to see, can everyone do that right now? Who can sit crisscross, applesauce, hands in your lap? Ah, I see a lot of you doing it. That's terrific. And you want to make sure you sit quietly and wait for class to begin so you know exactly what to do. Well, after you know what we're going to be doing, and I've probably demonstrated your activity for the day, you're going to go to your table, and today you are going to get a special seat in the art room. And when you're there, you are going to have to share your materials. Sharing, it's hard. You have to take turns. Be patient. Be kind. We'll always be kind, because that's just the best way to be. Probably next art class, you are going to get your very own kindergarten sketchbook. That's where we are going to work together, learning how to draw and write certain words. It's an alphabet sketchbook. You know, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all that stuff. You will get your sketchbook probably next week, and we will be putting our name and our teacher's name on it. Shh, it's the quiet coyote. I'm going to show you how to make the quiet coyote symbol with your hand. And when you see me raise up and do the quiet coyote symbol, you know that, oh, that's time when our voices need to be off, because I might have to give you a new direction or tell you something. Now, while you're busy working in the art room, most of the time the voice level is a level 2, which means it's an inside voice. And that's great. But sometimes voices get a little loud, and I have to give a reminder. So I might hold up Quiet Coyote and say, shh, everyone, we need to lower our voice. That's one reminder. But let's say the voice level continues to get loud, and I might say, boys and girls, it's getting loud in here. That's your second reminder. I'm going to take off the letter A. So if I've taken the letter A off where it says art, that means, oops, we've been reminded again, we need to quiet down. Usually everything's fine by then. But if it still is loud, I might have to take the R off. And when the R comes off, that means you can only speak in a whisper. And then if I have to take the letter T off, that means, oops, we can't talk at all. We have to work in silence. I don't like working in silence. I like talking to my neighbors at my table, so let's try to make sure our voice level stays at a level 2. Now I have to think you're all pretty awesome, but there are days when we are not awesome. And on those days, I might have to give you a warning. Can you see the light green, the dark green, and the purple spot on that chart? Well, the light green one says warning number 1. I might have to say, oh, this is your warning. Please don't do that. And then I'll go away. And then maybe later on you're still doing that. I have to give you a second warning. I think I reminded you, please stop doing that. And you'll either change your way or you won't. And if you don't, well, then it goes down to purple. And on the purple part of this chart, I might have to make a phone call home or send a note home, or depending on what it is, maybe you have to visit the principal's office or have some free time taken away in your classroom. I have to tell you, most of the time that never happens, but sometimes it does. But let's look up at the top of the chart. The blue, the yellow, and the red. Those are all awesome things. It means that you're being respectful, responsible, ready to learn. You're using your materials well, and you're being kind to others. And maybe if you are someone who does this all the time, well, you might just find that you're taking a letter home to your parents. That's a great letter that tells your family how awesome you have been during art class. All right, this one says, after messy work, wash hands with a wipe. That's right. I give everyone a baby wipe to wash their hands after messy projects like painting, because I have just one little itty-bitty sink here in the art room, and there is just no way 24 of you or more or less can get through that line at the sink in time to be ready for your teacher. So a wipe works so much better. The bathroom. Yep, we are lucky enough to have a bathroom right here in the art room. And you can use the bathroom anytime you need to, except I'm hoping you don't have to use the bathroom times like now, when you are learning about things in art class. So when we're on the rug, we're learning together, or you're at the table watching one of these videos, try not to miss out and go to the bathroom then. But when you're working or any other time in art, you don't even have to ask, you just go to the bathroom. But there is a sign on the bathroom. The green says, go, you can come on in. But before you go inside to use the bathroom, flip it over to red. That means stop, someone's inside. Okay? Yoga. How many of you know yoga or have heard about yoga? Well, besides being an art teacher, I am also a yoga instructor, and we will be doing some yoga in art class. Sometimes at the beginning of class, sometimes at the end of class, but yoga is awesome. It's a great way to relax, to focus, to pay attention, and plus it feels great. You'll be hearing a lot of this. Always remember, be respectful, be responsible, and be ready to learn no matter where you are in school. When you come to art, I want you to have a great time, be kind always, and smile.